Shubor nakaslem jong Nongsan Hima.
Ka Shillong Literary Festival kelasdang biang awards lake mentang snipalei belawan ra ya handrup hongot ki Nongthoh kot ki Nongthoh poetry ki Nong snap film bat ki kraw perkhat negeri India bat na shabar kari rukumju ban wan ban lek menlang hakani kata masa kanong job ya ki International Booker Prize ke Bandu Mustang bat ulong tho e kot Ikigai u Francis Mirals ulalam khmat ha jingple hakani kata masa baladan ringkat ru kanong pinwandur ya kani kata masa Kamala Vika Banerjee but Tourism Commissioner o Vijay Kumati. Kamustak kalero e kajing itanat ka Shillong dag baong bakani katamasa ka basyat kumno baki lom kiwa ki pinwandur ya katho katar o miral spot ulakot baga Shillong Kadei ka paradise ka berit dag baong ba ukan mau ki kemtian balatho ka kot Ikigai bat ka kot chung u kana masti. Kanong penya ya kani katamasa Kamala Vika Banerjee kalapan pau ki jing penkre ba per jong kani katamasa Kabadan kibawan shimentan nakaling kaperthai ringkat bat kisur baklan jong kathan. Kala banjur bay kani katamasa lashna kum kajaka banyakran perkhat jeliu bat ya gajinya tai. Menta usnam kani katamasa lagan thobru ya gajinya kran halor katho katar khasi garo balashimenta daga streamlet dakhar Jenny Sparyat Ayinti Nongbri bat kinong thokot na garo ka Barbara Sangma bat kolnat bi marang. Kajingkring bha kani katamasa kadai jam phliu jengmut bat ka Jamling Tenzing Norge halor ka kot scaling mount UPSC bat ka jingakran bat ki reupa khmat na Meghalaya halor ka thok katar bat ka Puliputhi lapin Shongshit shu kani katamasa de kinong shna film na garo udamnik sangma ki aktor ka Bollywood Rajat Kapoor bat Vinay Pathak bat Nongthoh ba Pawnam Ujino Banks kani katamasa kanong haki laisngi bandrakhi ka jingtbit haki rukom shna pinwandur Kakolshor bat kabor jongki khanata.
So just a little background. I know I'll not talk a lot about literature, but I'll talk about overall what is it that we are trying to do here in our beautiful state. When post-COVID, basically we all know COVID was in some sense a defining period of many of our lives and economies and state strategies. When we were thinking of we came up with a plan of how do we revive the economy, what are the things that need to be done, where the investments need to be made in the state post-COVID. So one of the things that we identified was creative economies. So how do we promote creative economy in the place? Because like in South India, our forte is not like, it's not that we are excellent at mathematics or something. So our forte, we felt, of the young people. We have a lot of young people here. Meghalaya has a huge young population. India is a young country, but even compared to India, the youth population of Meghalaya is much higher. And one of the things that we identified as a huge potential area is creative economies, whether it is music, whether it is literature, whether it is art, whether it is design, whether it is food, and all that obviously connects to tourism, which is one of the biggest growth drivers for the state of Meghalaya, and then it connects with employment and opportunities. So with that, this Lit Fest that we started this Lit Fest in 2021. We also started our Cherry Blossom, the music festival, the big festival that we do, also in 2021. That also we celebrated the fifth edition of the festival, hugely successful. I'm sure many of you were there. I've seen many of you on the dance floor also. So we had this amazing festival, and both these festivals we are celebrating the fifth edition. So when we identified these creative economies, what did we do? So we listed there are 5-6 things which we need to focus on. So first was music. So in music, whether it is festivals, whether it is big concerts, and very importantly, the MC just mentioned about what is called the grassroots music program. The Chief Minister's grassroots music program. Meghalaya is probably the only state where if you go around in the streets of Shillong and Kadei and other places, you'll find in the evening musicians playing. So there's a lot of busking going on, there are cafe gigs going on. But the interesting thing is all these gigs, all these are supported by the government. Because what we realized is that it takes a certain amount of time and certain amount of economic activity to pick up before cafes are ready to pay a musician and hire a musician. So we said in the interim, while we are investing in the large concerts which cost a lot of money, we also invest in day-to-day small events. 10,000 rupees we pay to an artist, we pay to an event manager 10,000 rupees and get the entire ecosystem going. So this was the idea of our Honorable Chief Minister when he's a musician himself. When he was tourism minister, back in 2021, he was tourism minister. Today he is not here. He will be here with us tomorrow because today he has gone for the swearing-in ceremony of the Bihar government. So with that idea, today I think in music, the most interesting thing we are doing is what is called the grassroots music program, where about 7,000 musicians are supported to take up various performances, and we have identified talent, and many of these are getting national and international platforms.
Music and dance has always lived in the Indian imagination as a place where stories breathe easily. I am honored to add my own voice to that landscape. My own journey as a writer began long before I ever put pen to paper. It began with reading. Greedy, restless reading books became the first bridges I crossed. They carried me from the red earth of Hassan to the green silence of the places I had ever seen, including these very hills. Through stories, I traveled across India, from the poetry of Kashmir to the folklore of the Northeast, from coastal tales to desert dreams. Long before I met people, I met their imaginations. This, I believe, is literature's greatest gift. It creates a shared homeland of ideas. A Tamil poet's longing can speak to a Khasi grandmother's memory. A Kannada metaphor can find rhythm in a Bengali heartbeat. In books, our differences do not divide us, they deepen our understanding of one another.
And when I came back from India, I already felt a writer. So I am very happy to be in Shillong, to be in this festival for the first time. Today, we will have a nice conversation about the secrets of Ikigai, the purpose in life, with a professor about Meghalaya folklore. And tomorrow we'll speak about the folk Purushart, because I wrote a book together with Hector Garcia that in the rest of the world is called Namaste, because it's the most international Indian word, and we are going to discuss also about that. So thank you very much for having me here in this little paradise, and I am looking forward to these conversations and to meet you also in the signing table. Thank you very much.
Melds the local with the pan-Indian, and with the presence of some stalwarts from overseas. Francesc is right here. We have a mosaic of thoughts and ideas to present to Shillong. I'm delighted to welcome Banu ma'am here and look forward to hearing stories from the Venerable Shonjoy Hazarika, young Sam Dalrymple, who will be speaking later today, and his take on the 20th century India, history of India, and of the artistic presentation of young Shillongites, if that's a word, like Sonal Jain and Anurag Banerjee. Poetry, fiction, the stories and challenges faced by the Northeast, the magical prose from across the country, and even the journey of one of Shillong's most iconic names, the Shillong Chamber Choir. We have all of this and more at the festival this year.